And I'm back.
Welcome back.
Well, thank you. Thank you. Thanks for being here.
Thank you for having me.
How is the weather in Brooklyn?
Today is actually a beautiful day. It's a little weird in the middle of winter, but tomorrow the forecast is already promising a mix of snow and freezing rain, so we'll
Oh,
be right back where we were.
fantastic.
Right.
Awesome. All right, I'm going to start this thing.
Let's do it.
All right. Welcome back to another episode of Beyond the Check Service Industry Podcast, where we talk about all things service industry related and whatever else I feel like talking about. I am Reyshan Parker, and if you haven't, please go watch my television series Beyond the Check, now streaming on Amazon Prime and Tubi TV. Tubi TV, it's also just free TV. I have today a fantastic guest. She owns a wonderful little pizzeria in Brooklyn. She also does a lot of fun marketing to keep that business running. Her name is Marina Charney, and she owns, is it The Wilds or just Wilds?
Just wild.
Just Wild.
Yes.
Just wild. It's just a
Right.
wild place to go have some gluten-free pizza.
Exactly.
Awesome. Well, thank you for being here.
Thank you so much for having me.
How is your day going?
So far, so good.
Awesome. It just got so much better, right?
Right, of course.
So tell me a little bit about the restaurant.
Well, as you said, we are a 100% gluten-free, basically Italian restaurant, which I know sounds like an oxymoron, but that is what we do. And we initially, I guess, kind of started as more of just a pizzeria, but now we've expanded. So we have a lot of other things on the menu. We have a raw bar. We have a full bar with drinks. We have
The whole
tons
shabam.
of
You got the whole shabam.
things. Yeah, the whole shebang.
Do you have gluten-free beer?
We do have gluten-free beer. Yes.
Awesome. What is it good? Of course it is.
Yeah, I mean it's not bad. It's different, a little bit different from regular beer, but it's good. It is good.
Huh. So what inspired you to, I mean, you're part owner, you have a partner?
Yes, I do.
Is that one the cook?
No,
No,
he's
neither one.
also not a cook. No,
Neither
no,
one of you cook.
neither. I mean, maybe he cooks in his like personal life, but he's not the cook at the restaurant. Yeah, no, we kind of got into it not through our love of cooking, which is better for the customers. No, I was working so we opened in 2016, and the short version of the story is just that I had been working in PR and was looking to make a total switch in my career and ended up here. And going into it, I actually thought that this would be easier and less work than what I was doing before.
Surprise. Do you
Right.
like 80-hour work weeks? Because that's what you got yourself into.
Yes, that is, I learned that really quickly.
So why the concept? What inspired the concept?
Well, I'm from Brooklyn. I mean, I grew up here almost my entire life. And I mean, 2016 at this point was like 6, 7 years ago. So I think that now gluten-free, vegan, like keto, all that stuff is kind of everywhere. But it was still like a little bit newer a couple of years ago. And the Park Slope neighborhood, which is where we are, I thought was just a great place to open up that kind of business because I wanted the concept to be 100% gluten-free. That didn't really exist anywhere. And I thought it was like a good neighborhood for that because there's a lot of families, a lot of people are like really health conscious. It's very sort of community oriented. So, like if one person likes the restaurant, they'll be sure to tell everybody else in the neighborhood.
A lot of word of
And
mouth.
yes,
So it makes
exactly.
makes your job easier.
Right, exactly. And yeah, and so then I kind of had the idea, like I thought it would do well there, and then just went from there.
So are you yourself gluten-free?
No, I'm not.
Well,
Everybody asks me that.
yeah, right?
I do generally like try to eat healthy. And I feel like this is a healthier option because, like, for example, the pizzas that we make are all like thin crust, and they're not. They just like you when you're done eating our pizza, like you don't have that super stuffed, like super
Full
full
comatose feeling.
Yes, comatose, exactly.
Like eating
So I
spaghetti
feel like
squash as opposed to actual spaghetti.
right. I mean, we do have like actual pasta too, but it's all gluten free, so it just feels a little bit lighter. And I just thought like people might be interested in the idea of eating all their favorite comfort foods, but in like a slightly healthier version.
And it's working out.
Yeah, so far.
So far, so good.
Right.
Awesome.
I mean, COVID was an unexpected thing, but I guess that was for everyone.
Yeah. How was that? Did you have a large like online presence beforehand? Were you already door dashing, etc.? Or
Yeah. No, we were. I mean, it was like a weird time. But yeah, we were doing deliveries and like I said, again, just because of the neighborhood that we're in, like people were so nice. They were so supportive. They really made an effort to like try and keep the restaurants that they love in business. And we did do a lot of delivery.
because up
God.
there, like, it wasn't a good percentage, was it? Well,
No,
at
I
least in
mean,
New York.
yeah, so many restaurants close. But I think a lot of restaurants closed in Manhattan because so many of those just depend on tourists. And
Right.
obviously, like, tourism was totally shut down. But
But
like
over in Brooklyn,
in Brooklyn, it's kind of more locals are the majority of our customers.
and you got a tight community down there.
Yes.
I mean, was it a hard sell to get Brooklyners or to like come in and try it even if they weren't gluten free? Or
Yeah, it was.
let's
It
talk
was.
about the marketing of it. How'd you get them?
It really was in the beginning. I mean, people thought it was like weird. And initially, I mean, you would just get like a table of two would be like one gluten-free person or one person that has celiac disease or somebody that's gluten-free, and they would bring their friend,
Right.
like, eating with them. And the friend would try the food and then would be like, oh, okay, it's really good. And I can't even tell the difference. It started that way and went from there, but it was slow. I mean, in the beginning, the majority of our customers were like only people that are gluten-free.
Do you make any of the pasta or the dough for the pizza?
Yeah, we do. We do. We make most of it in-house.
Oh, awesome. Did you know somebody who was already like into gluten-free cooking beforehand, or did you have to hunt them down?
No, I mean, we hired all the staff, just like we started from scratch. The first chef that we had, actually, he had a lot of previous experience working in like traditional Italian restaurants. So he was kind of interested by the challenge of making all the same dishes, like in the gluten-free version. But he wasn't a gluten-free chef specifically, because like I'm saying, there just wasn't that
It
much
didn't
of it.
exist.
Yeah. I mean, it's still, it still feels like new to some people, I think.
I mean,
Much less so than before, of course.
I accidentally bought a few cauliflower pizzas like at the grocery store, and eh. So
Yeah.
what are you guys making the dough out of?
We make it out of rice flour. So
Oh.
cauliflower is a little bit different. I would even argue it's a little bit weirder. Acquired taste. But
It
we
is.
make rice flour. I mean, I think it really, the flavor is like very similar to regular dough. It's just the consistency is that it's just like thin crust. So it's just much thinner.
Right. It doesn't.
Right, it doesn't rise as much. But once you put the toppings on there, once you have like all the tomato sauce, the cheese, everything else, I mean, it's still pizza.
I mean, I love a good thin crust. It's actually one of my faves. So
Right.
if I'm ever in Brooklyn, I'm coming up. Do you deliver to Savannah, Georgia?
We're working on it.
Touche. Can't DoorDash that quite yet.
Right.
Do you have a favorite pizza?
We have a dessert pizza, which I like.
Really?
So, yeah, it's a pear and gorgonzola with raspberry sauce.
Oh.
It sounds really weird.
No,
but
that
it's
sounds
like,
great.
for people that are into sweet and savory, like that, is the perfect combination.
Right.
So I like that one. And then I also just love our like classic margarita pizza.
Do you remember all the dessert pizzas at Pizza Hut back in the day?
No.
Which is the first, I think, and the only like really like mainstream dessert pizza. But I don't know that they delivered them, but they had buffets. You used to be able to sit down inside Pizza Hut, and
Oh
they'd
my
have
God.
lunch buffets and dinner buffets, right? And on
Well,
the buffet was always like a blueberry pizza, an apple pizza, like
I love that.
dessert pizzas.
But
They don't do it anymore. It's really quite sad.
growing up in New York, it's like a crime to go to Pizza Hut
Oh, I'm
because
sure.
there's so many pizzerias and each one is like best New York pizza.
Right?
That if you go to Pizza Hut or Little Caesars, like you're not a real New Yorker.
How does Pizza Hut and even have a foothold around all of that? It doesn't make sense.
I don't.
Is there a Pizza Hut in Brooklyn?
There is, yeah.
Probably like a couple, right?
There's a Pizza Hut, there's a Domino's, there's a Little. I mean, they're all here. They all like find an audience, but
How dare they?
so many others. And there's like on top of all of that, there's also dollar slices, which are like classic late night eats.
Right? Then maybe they don't deliver, but everybody delivers now. You can get anything delivered now.
Yeah,
Why bother? I don't know.
yeah, I don't know.
I'm in Savannah. We have some decent pizza, but none of it's coming to your door unless you're door dashing it.
Nice. I've been to Savannah once. It was like a number of years ago.
I've been to Brooklyn. I didn't spend a whole lot of time there. My buddy
Well,
actually, my friend actually lives in Brooklyn.
oh really?
Yeah.
What part?
I'm not a hundo on that, but he used to work at Per Se before COVID went
Oh,
down, and now
amazing.
he's working somewhere else. He loves it.
Yeah,
He's got a
that's
window. He has a window in his apartment now, so he's super happy about
right. Step up.
it. Funny
Step
story.
up from the shoebox that you
Uh-huh.
start with.
This is a funny story because he moved two doors down, and this doesn't happen out up there, right? Like to find an apartment is a pain in the butt to begin with,
Yes.
but to find one that you just had to move right down the hallway to spend less money, had a bigger room and windows.
That is amazing. That really
That's a
does
miracle, right?
a miracle. It's a straight up miracle.
Like, how did he was like, how just dude was outside and I was like, oh, I'm going to look for an apartment. And he was like, oh, room's open right here. And he's like, what? And he showed it to him and he's like, this has windows.
Wow. That's a story.
Right. So you born and bred Brooklyn or where are you
Uh,
from?
Not born, but basically bred. I mean, I've lived here since I was like 6.
I think that counts.
Yeah.
I mean, I was born in California, but I don't think I've ever really lived there. 'Cause I was 3. I was 3 when we
Yeah.
left, so I didn't really count.
Nice. Well, you've been in warm weather places your whole life.
No, I spent most of my life in Ohio.
Oh, okay. Then
So
never mind.
very humid in the summertime though, still. So super humid.
Nice. Never been there.
No. We got
No.
there's 4 major cities. One of them was just in the Super Bowl.
Right? That's true.
The littler one that you don't really think about as a city. Good old Cincinnati.
Right.
Yeah.
That's
I had no idea. I don't know. It's like, who's in the Super Bowl? What?
Yeah.
No.
I'm kind of like that with sports too.
So I watched it just because
Because you have to.
I had
you know,
to, right?
It's a culture event.
And also Snoop Dogg and Dr.
Right.
Dre for the halftime show. So, really taking me
Right,
back.
It was a concert with like a sporting event happening around it.
That's right. And I totally felt 1994 again. It was great. It's like, where are my Jinkos? What did I ever do with those? So let's talk more about marketing. So I assume that what you decided to do was you take your marketing talents and open up a your own personal idea, which is original, right? And then use your skills to make it work. So did you start off having to spend a lot of time at the restaurant, or you spend a lot of time in front of a computer?
No, in the beginning, like the first 3 years, I basically lived there. I like definitely saw way more of the restaurant than I did of my own home or like my friends. But in the last couple of years, like in the last 3 years, I would say, I've spent like way more time focusing on marketing, which has largely been just like through social media. I mean, we've done like we do try to do some like press outreach here and there and like traditional forms of media and things like that, but everything is on social media now.
Right? Are you TikToking?
Uh,
Do you tick and
no,
talk?
I don't like TikTok myself, and we don't post any TikToks from the restaurant, but we have had TikTokers come in, like TikTok influencers, and they create them and then we share them.
I've seen some really fun restaurant TikToks recently, so you might want to consider it.
I
Where
know.
like some of my favorites have been where they just take the old like 80s sitcom theme songs
Hmm.
and then go around the restaurant with the employees. That's a good one.
Oh, I love that.
Right? So
Yeah.
you can have fun in the restaurant with TikTok. I'm just saying.
I mean, when TikTok came out, I was just like, I promised myself I will not use this. Like after Instagram, I was like, I'm done. Like I'm not going to learn Snapchat. I'm not going to learn TikTok. Like I'm not, there's just too many of them. But now I'm like starting to face the reality that I have to get into
Yeah,
TikTok.
I avoided it like a plague for a long time, and in retrospect, I wish I had just jumped on in the beginning. Right,
Right.
because it's the beginning of all of the social fads that really gets you the most followers and the most traction if you're in at the beginning, right? So if,
So true.
how easy was it for, My Drunk Kitchen to really blow up
Right.
on
Yeah.
YouTube back in the day? But now
Yeah.
there's a million people probably get drinking and trying to cook, right? And
Yeah. Right.
nobody cares.
Right. Yeah. It's so true. It's crazy. I mean, there's like so many of these apps that come out that sometimes you don't know like what's going to stick and what's not.
Hmm.
But yeah, TikTok seems to be
It's
working out.
sticking. It's sticking
It's
around. And
yeah,
the algorithm is very friendly if you
yeah,
start posting, right? So,
yes, it's easy to use.
but okay, so I didn't like Instagram either. I avoided Instagram like the plague for a very, 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 very long time. And now everybody hates Facebook and still loves Instagram, but like they're the same
Right,
company.
right, right.
Super confused, guys. You still got to log into your Facebook if you want to use your business suite. Like, there's no way around it.
Right. Well, Facebook is now older, so by default, it's like less cool.
Right. True. I miss Vine. Vine was cool while it lasted. That was
Oh, I never used that, but I remember that was like a thing.
Yeah, it was like 5 seconds. Like 5 seconds
Yeah,
to be funny.
yeah, 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 yeah.
Yeah, I don't
It's
know
a
how.
lot of that's a lot of pressure.
Right? It takes me 5 seconds to try to think about being funny.
Right. Way more than 5 seconds.
So I'm guessing you do a lot of Instagramming.
Yes, we do a lot of Instagram. I have like people that work with me on it, and it's a lot of work. I mean, you have to keep your content fresh all the time. That we invite influencers in like regularly.
How do you go?
Um,
How do you go about that? Just what?
it's a mix of they reach out to us slash we reach out to them. And then it's just gotten easier as our following grew. Like when we first started out, you can only reach, like if we only had 500 followers ourselves,
Nobody's
we
listening.
wouldn't reach out to somebody that has like, 100,000
Right.
and ask them to come in. So we just started off reaching out to influencers with smaller amounts of followers. And we were building up, both of us would build up our followings in like a parallel way. So,
The good old collab button.
yeah, exactly. It was beneficial for both parties. And now, as we've grown, we feel more comfortable reaching out to influencers with bigger followings. And then a lot of them know each other, I've found also. So, like, if they have a positive experience, they'll,
Tell
like,
another one.
yeah, they'll tell another one. And it kind of goes from there.
Are you mailing them pizzas? Because
I mean, we did like during COVID, we actually did. Like some of them didn't feel comfortable coming in and stuff like that. So we would like send them free delivery and things like that. But obviously, we always like prefer for them to come in so that they get the full experience. The 5-star service that we're known for.
because it's the best pizza in all of Brooklyn,
Right.
and the healthiest.
In my biased opinion, it is.
So what's your favorite pasta dish?
Um,
And is it just straight like classic traditional Italian, or you got anything crazy going on in the menu?
it's mostly traditional. I mean, like we have your penne vodka, we have your chicken parm, we have your shrimp scampi. So we mostly do the classics. I mean, we have specials and things like that we play around with. My favorite is probably pesto, just because I like a lot of things that are green.
Yeah.
And I love our pesto. We like our pesto sauce, along with mostly everything else, is homemade, super fresh. I would probably say that's my favorite. But it changes depending on my mood.
Who doesn't love a good pesto? Who doesn't love a good
Right.
pesto? Um, so as you grow, are you gonna ever thinking about expanding? Maybe a second wild?
Maybe. I have thought
May-
about it. Um,
A franchise wild? Gonna have a wild in Savannah sometime in the next 10 years?
yeah, yeah. I mean, I have thought about it. I don't know. I feel like I would maybe wait another year or two just for like everything
To
that
settle
has
down.
COVID to really settle down, just because our industry was so affected. Um, but yeah, I mean, it's not out of the question. Like, I feel like the gluten-free concept would actually do really well in California,
Oh
but
yeah.
that would involve, moving across the country.
Just for a little while, and then you'd also have to live in California. So
Right.
there's that.
Well, again, the weather is nice.
The
So
weather
it's
is
not
nice. Weather is nice. Northern Cali's beautiful. That's where I was born.
Northern Cali. Is
Yeah.
that like where Napa is?
Yeah, up in the Redwoods, Napa, Humboldt, Sonoma, wineries. Yeah.
Mhm. Yeah, 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 yeah. I mean, Northern California, Southern California, I think are also very.
Hold on. We're unstable. Are you there?
Yeah,
All right. You're fuzzy, but you're there.
yeah.
Northern California is super health conscious too. There's like no fast food places up in those like small northern towns. It's just all farms and little restaurants, man.
Yeah, I love that. I mean, the less fast food, the better.
I don't know
I
why
just,
you healthy
I
fast food.
Right. No, I was going to say I just recently went on a trip to Tennessee with some friends, and I think I saw basically every like chain that exists.
On the way
Like,
there.
yeah, in the US. Like we passed by it over there.
What part of Tennessee did you go to?
Knoxville?
Oh yeah, you're gonna see a lot. Yep.
Yeah. Yeah, I was kind of
You ever
surprised.
been to Gatlinburg?
No,
Oh man, Gatlinburg. It's
that's in Tennessee?
hmm
No, no, this was my first time in Tennessee.
beautiful hiking and mountains and stuff on the outskirts and around Tennessee.
The nature is really beautiful.
I love, yeah.
Yeah.
Um,
You're pretty close to there.
we're about 4.5 hours to the border from Savannah, and then
Yeah.
because there's no nature here.
Oh, really?
There's swamps and flatland, and like there's a few like little like nature trails, right? But nothing to write home about.
Well, you're close to Florida, so
Also
you're
flat,
but beautiful beaches.
but beaches, sure. You got beaches up there.
Yes, we do, but they're cold. They're,
Very cold.
I mean, even in summer, it's like the water doesn't warm up till like end of July, and then you have like one good month of swimming, and then it's cold again.
Oh, so do
Right.
people still just lay out on the beach though?
Yeah, they do. They do.
They're just not touching the water.
Yeah, yeah.
Then don't swim in the Hudson.
No,
No.
that's like the number one living in New York. Don't even
don't even put your toe in the Hudson.
don't even put your toe, or you're gonna have to get like shots and vaccines.
And the COVID vaccine isn't going to help you on this one.
Right, exactly.
So you're a terrible cook, but you own a restaurant, so that's fun.
Yes.
How did you come to realize that you were such a bad cook?
Trial and error, and also just my overall like lack of interest in actually cooking. I love eating, and I love going out to eat, and I love like trying new things. But I think I'm like missing that gene. When I try to like make it myself, it doesn't come out the same.
It's not right, huh?
Whatever it is.
Even my wife will make me make her grilled cheese for her because somehow mine's just better.
Right. Yeah. I mean, there's always like one person in the household that's better.
Yeah. So how do you get fed then? Who's feeding you?
Well, my husband is an excellent cook.
Oh,
so
good for
helps.
him.
Yes, that helps. Or I will eat at work. A lot of access to really good food there.
You might as well. I mean,
right.
You did pay for it.
Right, exactly. Or like I said, I mean, I live here in New York. There's so many restaurants to go out to. So I like to support other restaurants in the industry.
Do you have a favorite? Do you have like your go-to, like this is, when we can't think of anywhere else, this is where we're going? I
mean, I love sushi. Like I'll eat that a lot.
And you are coastal, so you get some pretty fresh seafood up there.
Yeah, I like seafood in general. I mean, like I said, we have a raw bar at my restaurant, but I do love like raw oysters. Most seafood, actually, I really like.
Is the raw bar big at the restaurant?
It's pretty big. Yeah, it's pretty big.
You never think like gluten pizza and like oysters, but
yeah, but it works. It works.
It all goes with beer.
Right, so. Exactly, or any alcohol.
Or any alcohol. Do you have any fun drinks that are specifically your drinks over there? You have any signatures?
I mean, we do have some signature cocktails. We use Tito's vodka as the base for a lot of them
because it's gluten-free.
It's naturally gluten-free, yep, and it's very popular. It's a potato vodka.
Yeah, everybody loves their Tito's and vodka. That's
yes, people really do like it.
Tito's
and I see what you did there.
Yeah, it happens more than you think. You're like, hold on, slow down, say it one more time. I want a Tito's and vodka. Oh, one more time, slower. I want a Tito's and soda.
Oh, gosh. Yeah, I mean, it's good stuff. It's good vodka.
You squeezing juices and all that fun stuff?
No, not really. We actually don't do that. Because I think that juices and things like that usually sell more for like in the morning. And we don't really open for breakfast. We kind of open midday. No. I mean, we do brunch on weekends.
Brunch at the pizza shop.
Yes.
What's for brunch? Same menu or?
No, we have a whole separate brunch menu. We have like a bunch of egg dishes. We do have a brunch pizza, which is called our poached egg truffle white pizza. So it's like a white pizza base with truffle oil and poached eggs, which is really yummy. But yeah, I mean, our brunch menu is kind of like standard brunch, a lot of eggs.
I don't suppose you figured out the gluten-free sausage, gravy, and biscuit yet, have you?
Well, sausage is gluten-free naturally.
Right.
Biscuits, you can find gluten-free ones.
Yes.
We don't have that, unfortunately.
Oh. It's like sausage, gravy, and biscuits, the one thing that gets me every time. Like, so if I go to like a breakfast spot and they have sausage gravy, I have to order the sausage gravy. If I go to a nice restaurant and they have a hamburger, I have to get their hamburger.
Right.
Because before I'm going to try anything else on your menu, if you fuck up this hamburger, I'm not going to order anything else.
Right. It makes sense. Totally makes sense.
The sausage gravy is not the same. That's just a craving. I just have to have that if I see it.
I mean, that does sound delicious.
It's, yeah. Sadly, it's terrible for you.
As are most things in life.
See, I've been saying this for a while now. I'm like, everything that is actually truly just overly delicious is not good for you. Or any,
Right.
and that goes for a lot of things just in life. Anything that's
Right.
like enjoyable
Or
to
fun.
or fun, too much.
Yeah.
Anything that's
Right.
too much fun is
Right.
usually bad
Is
for
not
you.
good for you. Yeah,
Yeah.
100%.
We just have to learn to make being lame fun.
Right.
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 Like if everybody else was just at the same level of like not fun, then we'd all live a lot longer.
Right, right. Or you just have to make your peace with, just doing bad things that are bad for you.
Right? Like bacon.
Right.
God damn it, bacon.
I love bacon.
Right? It's just so stupidly good, and it's so bad on so many levels, right? Like the poor little piggy. Let's just start with the poor little
Right.
piggy.
I
All
know.
right, and very smart, cute, probably very mistreated little piggy, right?
Oh gosh.
And then he got murdered.
You
Just,
can't. You got
and,
to push those thoughts out of your
and
head.
then mutilated on top of that.
Yeah, little bit, little
Just
bit.
so I can have sausage gravy and biscuits, and and I still eat it, and that's fucked up, right?
Right. I mean, that
That I
I
can.
mean, that is why there's so many vegetarians. But then I see vegetarians and I'm just like, aren't they sad?
I try every once in a while. We eat vegetarian like at least 3 to 4 days a week, like dinner anyway. Just cause I get tired of the proteins. I just don't know. I'm not
Right.
creative enough to just keep turning the chicken into 20 different things. Okay. Also, I just don't feel like it or have time for it.
Right, right. I mean, it can get heavy.
So every once in a while, you're just like, we're having pasta with veggies and like, sauce. Done.
Yeah, 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 yeah. I mean, that's a great meal too.
All right. So easy and good for you. A lot of vegetarians just don't know how to eat properly.
Yes. Because I think a lot of vegetarians just sort of fill up on carbs.
Yep.
Like you get a lot of like potatoes and
My buddy, he's for I don't know 4 years now, and all he's done is gained weight. Oh,
uh-huh.
he just eats fish crackers.
Oh
Like
God.
he just drinks them like out of the container. Like this is his dinner sometimes.
I don't
I'm like,
think
dude,
that's
you're the
totally
worst veggie. Go buy a Boca Burger, man.
well,
At
don't
least.
they have like impossible burgers now? That's a thing.
Yeah, I mean that's still junk food. It's all like vegetarian junk food.
Right.
Like I really, what's really good is the Morningstar corn dogs.
I've seen those.
Yeah, they're actually. I mean, once you put ketchup and mustard on them, it tastes just
Right.
like a hot dog. It's stupid.
Right.
It's not
Right.
good for you, but it's not meat.
Well,
So you didn't have to kill the little piggy to get it.
I mean, if you market something as plant-based, it automatically sounds much healthier, even if it's not.
Right.
So,
I mean, I'm not saying it's probably still healthier than the meat version of a hot dog, right? But it's still
yeah,
not. It's nutritious.
right, right. I mean, who knows what's in there?
A lot of soy, probably. I don't know.
Yeah,
Monosononates. I don't know even. I'm just making up words.
right. It's just all those like long words on the back of the box.
Does your husband ever try to get you to help him cook or?
Uh, well, he really enjoys cooking, so I'm very lucky in the sense that I will offer to help just out of obligation and the kindness of my heart.
Mm-hmm.
But usually he says that he'll just handle it himself.
Like, I got it. I got it. It's fine.
Right, right. But he genuinely enjoys cooking. So it's not just like a chore.
Is he on
So,
is he Instagramming his dishes?
no.
No, they haven't rubbed your marketing off on him.
No,
No.
no, haven't. No. He just does it at home. He's low key.
Touche. Um, so do you have any tips or tricks that you've found in your marketing of your restaurant that you could give out to the listeners who are trying to just probably do it on their own?
I don't know if there's like a secret trick. I would say that it takes time. It takes a lot of time and patience to grow a following, both online and offline. And I also think, I would just suggest, again, with restaurants, budgets are such a big deal. But if you people ask a lot of time, like, what are things that are important to spend money on in this business? And I think that nowadays investing and having like a team that will help you with these kinds of things is so important. Like, you have to invest in social media, and marketing.
Where do we find this team?
There's so many people that do it now. I mean, like, I get like, cold emails or
right,
cold
all the time.
All the time.
But are they like, I just feel like they're all scammers. I don't know.
Are they a lot of them are, but I think some of them are legit. I mean, there's so many of these companies now. Like, there's big companies and there's small companies. There's people that just do it as like the people that I work with. This is just like their like side hustle. Like, they both have full-time jobs, and then they like do this stuff, work on marketing, like in their essentially spare time.
So what do you have them doing for you?
It's just like we sort of work together on like creating content and on getting like growing the following people,
So
like engaging with them.
They're coming in the restaurant and taking pictures of food and
Yeah. They do all of that. I mean, it's all like, it's time consuming.
Oh, it's so time consuming.
It's time consuming. Yeah, it's hard to do, like, especially like if you own a restaurant, you have so many other things to like be focused on that it's easy to sort of put this marketing and social media on like the back burner, which is kind of how I felt the first like couple of years.
That you were slowly putting it on the back burner?
Yeah, like I just felt
just didn't have time.
Yeah, like, if you have like an employee reaching out to you with a problem and a supplier doesn't have the food that you need, or the ingredients that you need, and you have these are the kinds of things that feel like more immediate and more pressing to deal with than marketing. So marketing ends up getting just pushed to the back, and you're like, I'll deal with it tomorrow, and then tomorrow there's a new problem. So it's like, I mean, that's every day, in this industry. So that's why I think it's good to have like someone help you.
Yeah, it definitely helps. And I mean, I guess it is. You just have to find a person who's good at these things, right? Like,
yes.
Somebody who's can take a picture, somebody who knows how to use the apps.
Yes.
And if not, you got to teach them.
Yeah. But it's good to find people to help you with anything that's not like your biggest strength. That's something else that I think I've like learned over these last couple of years, is just like initially you feel like you want to do it all yourself. And you're like, it's my baby and nobody else can do it, No one else will do whatever it is the same way that I'll do it. But over time you realize like, oh, I'm actually not the best at everything.
And other people are better at it, and you got to let them do it.
Yes.
It's almost like you have to learn to be good at delegating.
Yes.
Because you've always, I'm like that too. Like, oh, no, I got it. I'll just do it myself. Hey, could you add, you know what? I'll just do it.
Right.
Because I'm not going to wait around to see if you actually get it done. I'm just going to go ahead and do it.
Right. But then eventually, I mean, then at some point you have like 500 things on your plate and it's just like impossible.
Yep. So did you have any trouble with staffing as, post COVID, quote unquote?
Yeah, we did. It was hard to find people. I don't know why. It was like, I mean, it was happening everywhere from what I could understand, like across all industries. It was hard to find work. I don't know. I'm not sure if it had to do with unemployment or like what it had to do with.
Sure, it was a little bit of everyone still had some money.
Yeah.
But also, also people just didn't want to go back to work for minimum wage.
Right. I mean, it was that. I think some people still didn't feel like 100% comfortable coming back outside. I don't know. It was like a variety of things, but it was kind of tough for a little while there. Like we were, I mean, pre-COVID, we would post an ad and like 100 people answered in the first day. And then post-COVID, we would post an ad and it would be like just a handful of people that would respond. And some of them like had never even worked in a restaurant before. It's a little weird, but.
Right. And you sit down, you have servers and all that.
Yeah. We're
And servers make good money. So it shocked me that, I mean, it's always been hard to find a good server, right? Like to find, you know what I mean? But
Yes.
to not be able to find at least the shitty ones who need work, right?
Yes.
Seems crazy, because
so
it's like one of the highest paying jobs you can have.
Right.
You
I
know,
mean, that's what I'm saying.
It's
Like
like
pre-COVID, you could be super selective about who you hire, and post-COVID, it was like you couldn't even find anyone.
You have 2 feet and 2 hands? Cool.
Right.
Are you not a complete What is 2 plus 2? Cool.
Right.
You're hired.
Exactly. The standards were lowered significantly.
You can do basic math.
Right.
You want to be in management? How do you feel about management?
You're hired.
But it's easing up now. It's not quite as pressured now.
No, it seems to be getting better. I mean, I think like there was like that Omicron surge in January, but now it seems to have peaked, and they just recently like eased up on the mask mandate and all the restrictions and everything. So I think, I mean, I've even been hearing that in the city, a lot of the like office buildings and everything are fully reopening. People are coming back to work. So I'm hoping by summer things will be more or less, normal, whatever normal is at this point.
I live in Georgia, so it's been normal for a long time.
Yes. I know. Like I said, I mean, I just came back from Tennessee, and it was like a totally different world from like how it's been here in New York.
I had a lot of friends move back from LA to either Atlanta or Savannah, and were just like, whoa, I can smoke on the street. Yeah. Nobody's yelling at me about vaccines or masks. Everything's open. What is going on?
I think LA was like the last like city in the whole country to reopen, from what I understand. I mean, even like back in 2020, I think even their outdoor dining reopened like after we
super
did,
late, yeah.
Which was crazy to me.
Right? Like, no, they were not happy. The restaurants were not happy in California.
Oh, of course not. I mean,
yeah. There's a balance somewhere in between California and Texas, right? Somewhere in between is probably the good zone to keep everyone and everything as safe and happy as possible.
Right. Yeah, definitely.
Or not financially destitute.
Yeah, I mean the industry there must have been like so horribly affected. I can't even imagine.
All right, so like season 2 of my show, we had to do just around Georgia and South Carolina again, just because that's what was open, right? And we didn't, as far as I know, Georgia, we didn't lose really hardly any restaurants, like none really permanently shut down, because they were immediately allowed to like take out and outdoor dining, like real quick outdoor dining happened. And then real quick after that, like 50% inside happened, like that. Yeah. And so they all managed to actually, I would say 90% managed to pull through.
That's so good. Yeah, it was not quite the same.
No.
It dragged on. I mean, just the problem, I think, was a combination of the fact that, like, obviously there was the government mandates that were in place, and then even after some of those restrictions were lifted, it's just like people still were scared. Like,
yeah, my buddy who worked at Per Se, he didn't work for over a year. I think it was a year and 2 months, and he wanted a job, but they just weren't open.
Well, that restaurant, I mean, I don't think they even have any outdoor dining or anything like that. I mean, they're all the way at the top of
in Times Square.
Top of that building, yeah. I mean, because, other restaurants were at least allowed to put like structures in the street, and, there was all of that. But,
and all of a sudden, alcohol delivery is totally cool, country. You hear?
Yeah, you could drink alcohol in the streets. There was like no open container law for a while. It was like a party there for a minute.
Every day, out the window with the banging of the pots there at the beginning for a while.
It was a weird time. That's all I can say.
They don't let you drink in the streets anymore?
No.
Oh, boo. Well, you come to Savannah, you can drink in the streets all the time.
Oh, I love that.
One of the few, the proud. You hear that, New Orleans?
Right. I was just gonna say I know you can do that in New Orleans as well.
New Orleans, Las Vegas, and there are a lot of little towns that
Yeah.
have just kept it on too. I think
Yeah.
they're just like, it worked, like it.
Right. People love it.
And I think even my tiny little town in Athens, Ohio, where my family still lives, is now you can open container, like a 12-ounce container from one bar to another in a little college town.
Oh, I love that. Just makes the day a little bit more fun.
Right? When I go somewhere, I have a Yeti with me all the time, just in case, because they're so used to it. Like a Yeti, or like a.
Oh, I see. Okay.
Because I'm so used to being able to just walk out with a drink, like, oh, can we get a to-go cup? Cool. Or you can just walk out the door.
But that looks like it could be like a coffee or something.
It is coffee, but
That's sneaky.
I'm just saying, for the rest of the country who is not in New Orleans, Savannah, or Las Vegas, Yetis.
They need to invest in those, right?
But funny story, we were at a restaurant somewhere, and Jordan asked for to-go water, and she still had a drink on the table, and she said the waiter said that she couldn't bring her the to-go water until she finished her drink. Like somehow she was gonna pour out the water somewhere and put the drink in the cup. I don't know. I think it was at a Texas Roadhouse, actually.
That's confusing.
Right?
Well, that was like, I went to a concert a couple of months ago, and they also they gave us drinks and they opened them. They wouldn't let you take closed drinks with you to your seat because they were so worried you would sneak it out or something. I don't know. You're
there for a concert. You think you're going to go miss the concert to chug your beer in the parking lot?
I mean, I had the same thought, but I guess there's a method to the madness that just went over my head. I don't know.
It's just one tiny little bureaucratic law somewhere that says they have to open it.
Right.
So so the actual law here is a label law. So you have to have it in a plastic cup.
Okay.
Because of the labels. They don't want you walking around. It's not that it's glass bottle. It's not any of that. It's that you can't walk around showing an alcohol label.
Okay.
Around the town.
Right.
So the law itself is not to prevent people from carrying glass around, which seems like the number one thing you would want. It's so you don't show off the label. So 6-packs have to go into a bag to be carried from the store to your car.
Right.
But a 12-pack doesn't.
Interesting.
Because it doesn't fit in the bag. but it's all it's just laws are just so funny that way. They're just like that. You just contradict yourself right there, man.
That makes zero sense.
Right? It's so funny.
But we just all go along with it because what choice do we have?
Right, I guess I'll take my 6-pack in the bag and I'll just carry this 12-pack out. Okay, whatever. Oh, you have to put the 6-pack in the bag. I hear. Okay, cool. Why? All right. Doesn't matter. Just do your job.
Oh my gosh. Crazy.
Anyways, this has been awesome hanging out with you.
Likewise.
You have to send me a pizza when you can. When that's a thing.
I will definitely try. And if you come up to New York, you have to stop by.
I will definitely stop by. You will be my first New York style pizza, to which all New Yorkers will be like, "What the hell?" But
right, you have to
good.
Set the bar. Try our pizza. Set the bar high, and then you can try some others.
I'll drive right past Pizza Hut too, right onto the next little spot.
Exactly. Don't go in there. That's how people will know you're a tourist.
Cool. You want to give any shout outs? Where can we follow you on Instagram and all that fun stuff?
Yes, we are on Instagram at Eat Drink Wild BK. Instagram, Facebook. Where else can you find us?
Hopefully TikTok
Yelp.
soon.
Want to leave us a good review? TripAdvisor, yes, we are everywhere. We appreciate the reviews.
Wild everywhere.
Yes. Eat Drink Wild BK.
Eat Drink Wild BK.
BK.
For Brooklyn.
Yes. Exactly.
Awesome. Marina Charney, thank you so much for being here today. Keep up the good work, and I do look so forward to eventually getting to try your amazing gluten-free. I'm coming for pasta too, for sure.
Pasta's good. You have to. Thank you so much. This was a blast.
Yay, we'll do it again someday.
Let's do it.
Awesome. All right, ladies and gentlemen, one more time, Marina Charney. Go have some gluten-free pizza in Brooklyn. Wild. And please go watch my television show again, and go follow me, Reyshan Parker, everywhere. Also, Beyond the Check, Instagram, everywhere, just everywhere. Cheers. Cool. That was fun.
Yes, that was super fun.